Well, today's practice is going to be a more gentle practice that would be very suitable if you're feeling tired, you're recovering from illness, you have a headache, or you just feel like a few restful moments to recuperate and refresh. So, we're going to start in Supta Baddha Konasana, and for this I've used a bolster, a block and a blanket, but you could make up a similar support for your back with 4 blocks in I haven't got the Blue Peter I made earlier one, but here we are. Just like that. Or, if you prefer, you can stagger the blocks in that way to make it a little more gentle for your back, sitting here and putting the other block and blanket here for your head. Or if that's simply uncomfortable for your back, you could have a lower support with a block here, or you could make a back support with another blanket. This is a bit of a fat blanket, but certainly if you take your blanket, fold it 3 ways here, and then you could put your block underneath at the level where your head would be and sit down there. A lot of ideas. You'll need your belt. If your feet in Supta Baddha Konasana feel that they're going to slip forwards, the soles of the feet come together and you sit a little bit away from the support so that your lumbar is free and you're going to support your ribs. So the belt, an easy support, is to put the belt over the top of the feet and then take the 2 ends and rest them under the sacrum, placing it centrally so that it doesn't make your pelvis lopsided. Have your pelvis moving to your feet, support your ribs. Oh, I've lost my block now. And then have your head support of sufficient height so that your head doesn't tip back. And support your neck as well. Now once you're here, you can use your elbows to lift the chest and tuck the shoulder blades right down under your back. And preferably you want to have your forehead perhaps a little higher than your nose, a little higher than your chin. Rotate the upper arms outwards so that the backs of your hands rest comfortably on the floor. And once you feel evenly placed, you can close your eyes. Now, I didn't mention, but if you know that your thighs and hips are going to become uncomfortable in this position, then do get blocks or bricks to support them. Because the idea of starting in this way is to be able to completely release the body and to rest the mind, which you won't be able to do if you're experiencing discomfort anywhere. Give yourself a few moments to get used to these supports and to gradually let go of your body weight So you're not holding yourself at all. Feel that the pelvis is moving towards your feet. And feel the feet, the soles of the feet, matching each other. And release in the hips so that the outer knees will slowly descend. Notice your breath. As you breathe out, just really notice the release in the lower abdomen, from the navel to the pubis. Lower abdomen moves down and into the body. Notice also the release in the upper abdomen from the base of the breastbone to the navel. Allow the back ribs to spread, letting go of your arms and hands. Feeling that the side chest can lift, the collarbones can spread. Releasing the back of the neck and head onto your support. Spreading the face from the center of the face out to the sides of the face, particularly across the skin of the forehead, the eyebrows, and the space between the eyebrows. Even the eyelids spread away from the nose, and the temples drop down towards the floor, away from the eyes. Soften your cheeks and let them spread away from your nose to the sides of your face. Release inside your mouth. Make sure your tongue is placed in the center of your mouth. If your tongue goes to one side or other of the mouth, it can make the brain a little more active. So soften the tongue and let it rest on the lower part of your mouth in the center. And if there is any saliva in your mouth, then swallow. If it's comfortable for you, then spend a few moments just extending the in and out breath a little. When you breathe in, feel that you breathe in almost as if from the pubis, and the air goes beneath the navel as the abdomen moves into the body. Your lower ribs and breastbone open up and the breastbone lifts. The side ribs expand. And see how high the breath reaches in the chest without forcing. Don't breathe in any higher than the collarbones. Let the air leave the chest from the height it has reached, emptying down through the chest and seeing the abdomen relax back from the breastbone to the navel to the pubis. If you've become short of breath, then simply take some normal breaths until you feel able to try one more longer breath in and longer breath out. Don't overdo. Simply extend the time that you take in this gentle amount of air. It's a fine thread of breath. It's not a great gulp of air. There's no forcing or pushing. It's just the air moving into the lungs that gently expands the lungs from bottom to top as you breathe in. And it's just gently letting the air leave the lungs, not in a rush, just this fine thread of breath that helps you empty from the top of the chest, gradually to the bottom of the chest, relaxing the abdomen, breathing normally. Just relaxing completely now. And then thinking of coming up, you may like to simply bring your left knee up and roll onto your right side. You can support your head with your right hand for a moment. Open your eyes. Use your left hand to help you to come back up. So now we'll go into Adho Mukha Virasana. And we're going to use the same support. You can bring it between your legs. So if you can't sit on your feet, toes are together, heels are apart, remember you can use a blanket or a block so that you have a firm base from which to go forwards. And therefore you might need to put more blocks under your support. Or you can sit on a chair and put this support on another chair. So you're going forward, but you haven't got that intense bend of the knees if you have a knee problem. So toes touching, heels on the outside of the buttocks, feet on the centre of the shin, and lift up. Press the front of the feet down and the centre of the shins. Keep the sacrum moving down here, but we want to lengthen the front body. So don't rush to come forwards. Use your hands a little forwards, and you can push back to re-establish that contact with the buttocks and the feet. Now we're just going to rest the forehead on your support, so make sure it's placed suitably, and keeping the length in the front body, come down and just rest the forehead. Now you keep the hands spreading, the fingers pressing, the elbows lift and the inner upper arms lift to the ceiling. The shoulders are back. And through the hands pressing, re-establish the idea of the weight going back from the knees to the top of the thighs. Keeping that, you might need to lift your whole body and move your ribs forwards a little more. Rest the forehead skin. From the hairline, it moves to the eyebrows. But the actual skull can slide within the skin and just move in the opposite direction a little. Here again, come back to that awareness of your breath. Spreading the lower ribs, middle ribs, out to the sides, away from the spine as you breathe in. We're not extending the breath here, just breathing normally and keeping that softness in your face. Releasing the back of the neck. Letting go of your whole head. Asana is the word for posture, but it means so much more than a physical position. To fully experience a yoga asana, we have to immerse our whole being into this posture, being aware of its physicality, but also how our organic body, our mind, even our spirit becomes totally immersed in it. So there's a letting go. and then coming up, and then dog pose, and here supporting the head. So I'm going to take a brick. You can use blocks, you can use your bolster. We're going to put the feet, support the feet on the skirting board. So when you place your support, you might have to move it, but make sure you put your hands in front of it. And you don't want to have the feeling that you've got to bend the arms to get down onto it. You need to place your hands and feet. Now I've put my heels up the skirting board to start. So I'm going to use my legs to lift the hips, to take the upper back in, to lift the shoulders, and then hopefully the support, I can place my forehead on the support for the moment, and eventually move a little more towards the top of my head. But there needs to be no effort to reach your support. So the support helps us to achieve the asana in that we can press the hands down, we can lift the inner upper arms, we can lift the shoulders, take the upper back in, lift slightly the abdomen, use the thighs, press the front thighs to the back thighs, back with the shins. But here you will need to lengthen the back of your neck, support your head, and become a little passive in the brain, in the face, and start to be aware of the breath. You may find that over time you can alter your support if it feels a little high. Soften the back of the neck and soften your face. Let go of the weight of your head. And don't rush out of the pose, but to come up, gently lift the head and come forwards. You can bend your knees to come up. Now, I'm going to bring in the chair for Uttanasana. And here again you can place blocks or blankets or whatever you need on the chair. And we're going to have the buttocks on the wall, and the feet forwards. Draw up through the legs as long as your back is comfortable, and keep that length in the front body. Coming forwards, you can rest your forehead on the seat of the chair, and you can fold your arms. Just check through the body. Make sure your feet and toes are not cramping up. Do draw up through the legs. And let the front body extend. Shoulders back. Let go of the weight of your head and soften the back of your neck. It's as if you want to feel that the skin over your skull is loose. Be aware of your breath. And use the out breath to really let go. Let go physically. Let go mentally. Leave whatever thoughts from the day or of what's going to happen in the future. Let them go. Really enjoy this opportunity to rest and to experience this moment. And then to come up, just lift up, come back. And Prasarita Padottanasana can also be done with the chair in the same way. Prasarita being extended stretch, so you can take up a 5-foot stride here. Feet parallel, have the outer edge of your foot parallel with the mat, and have the weight even on the heels without bulging. You don't want to bulge the outer foot. So you've got to have a grip in of the outer legs. Sacrum is down, length in the front body, and come forwards. And here again, keep the abdomen lifted, don't lose the waist. Bring the chair at a suitable height. You can rest your forehead and rest your arms. So keep the tailbone tucking under. The weight even on the inner and outer edges of your feet. The drawing up through the inner thighs. Grip of the outer thighs. Extension in the front body. The abdomen slightly lifted. Releasing your whole head. If you've crossed your arms the usual way, then do swap the crossover. Really soften your face. Just feel around the lower jaw. The muscles around the ears. release through the nose. And your eyes, your eyeballs. Aware of your breath. Feel that broadness in the chest with the breath. And then to come out, open your eyes. If you've closed them, look forwards, come up, come back to standing and feet together. Right, we're going to come down to the ground now, and by all means you can continue to use the chair for support when you're sitting, or you can use bricks and blocks. So I'm going to sit on a blanket. I'm going to ask you to sit cross-legged, and do sit on a block if your cross-legged position, your knees are quite high. You want your knees to descend. Cross mid-shin and take the flesh of the buttocks diagonally away. Sitting evenly on the buttocks. Hands by the hips and lift up. We'll just do a simple twist. So breathe in and twist to the right. So use your right hand to press down by your sacrum. If you're on blocks and you can't reach, then use another brick or block to help you reach. Lower the shoulders. Make sure as you turn that you're not bulging out the right ribs and sucking in the left. Keep the abdomen an even entity. Come back to the front. Breathe in, lift up. Turn to the left. So turn the abdomen, turn the waist, turn the upper chest, keep the shoulder blades on the back, lift the front body. Come back to the front. So we're going to stretch over the right knee, and I'm going to use a brick here for my head, but if that's too much, you can use, once again, your chair, so you could come forwards to hold the sides of the chair and rest your head on the chair seat. That's also very nice. So, hands by the hips, lift and turn to face the right thigh. Let's lift the arms up and turn the whole body to face the right thigh. So lift up out of the hips. Keep the front body long. Bring the hands in front of the knee. Use them to turn the body a little more. Keep the body long. Remember, you can put more bricks underneath if you need. And rest your forehead. Try to keep both buttocks down. So in all these poses, there is an element of effort or movement to get into the posture. But there's also this element of softness and becoming the posture as you let the brick or the chair take the weight of your head. And you can soften your face, your neck, your head. You can see if your navel and breastbone will turn over the thigh. Using the arms for support, but not letting effort distract you from being and becoming the posture. And then coming up again, lifting the head, bringing the brick to the left, lifting the arms, turning the body. Now, take the upper back in and lift the chest and try not to lose that. You don't want the back body to dome up. You want it to move into the body to lengthen the front body. So that needs to be kept even when the forehead moves down. So the hands can still spread on the ground. The elbows lift. The right side of the chest moves down a little. The spine moves in. And the head and neck release down. And you breathe easily. The whole face needs to be soft to enable this. And then to come up, lift your head, come up, bring the brick central, lift the arms, breathe in, come forwards, long front body, don't rush. Now lift the chest. Rest the head. Flex the feet a little if you want to firm the work in the legs a little. The legs are moving back, just like Adho Mukha Virasana. The knees are moving back towards the tops of the legs. Let your head release. Breathe into the chest. Soften your throat. And then raise the head, come all the way up. You might want to straighten your legs out a little in between. And then cross them the other way. Left foot in front. Lift up, we'll twist. So breathe in. Twist to the right. As you breathe out, lift the chest. Look up a little. Turn a bit more. Keep your head level with the sternum. Come back to the centre, breathe in and turn to the left. Lift the chest, look up. And then come round to the front. Move your support. Perhaps I'll use the chair this time. So raise the arms, face over your right thigh, and then coming forwards. So here the chair makes it a little easier to take the upper back in and to feel almost as if you've got a sort of rod going through the back body to the breastbone, lifting the breastbone. Shoulders down, turning the whole body over the thigh. And then release. Release your jaw, your tongue, your teeth. And then the other side, lift up, come back, move your support, stretch the arms, turn. Remember that rod going through the back. So you've got space in the body. Come forwards. Keep both buttocks firmly planted. Release the weight of your head. See if you can be aware of the whole body and breath in each moment. Releasing now any signs of unnecessary effort, often in the face, often in the throat, or maybe the abdomen. And then to come up, look up, and then put the chair in the front. Raise the arms. Long body coming forwards. Resting the forehead. You can put something soft on the chair. That would be very nice too. You can also fold your arms just like we were in the standing position, as long as that doesn't cause you to retract the front of the body. And become the posture. Let go of those thoughts. Release the face. All right. And then to come up, look up, come back, release the legs. We're going to do Janu Shirsasana now. So, head to knee pose. So I will keep my blanket to sit on here. You can sit on a block. You'll need to sit on a block. If when your legs are out here, you slump like that, you'll need to sit up higher. So, because we can't come forwards unless we can really lift in the back. Also, you might need some bricks to support your knee. So, sit with your legs straight out in front, lift up, move the buttock flesh diagonally away from the centre. We're going to bend the right knee, so try and bend it without touching it. Try and see how much you can bring it up. We don't want to sway the right buttock back. Once the foot has come here, then you can move the heel into the top of the right leg and the sole will come up. Now I'm going to use a brick for my head, so I'm going to move the left leg a little out to the side to enable me to do that more easily. Also, it'll broaden the abdomen a bit. So you're going to press that extended leg down. Turn your body to face your support. You can have a chair here to go forward onto too. And remember, you can support this knee with a block. If your knee is up like this, you need to put something underneath it. So you can rest and it won't damage your knee. So here again, lift the chest, take the arms up, come forwards, hands forwards, and you're really lifting through the body. So pressing down the extended leg. I'm going to move the support. I think I might need it a little more forward. Walk forward slowly. And here again, use your hands to keep weight on the buttocks. We're not lifting the buttocks up and tipping over on them. Keep turning the breastbone to be central. And also, this thigh might want to come and tip over the shin. So keep making sure that it's rotating back. The outer thigh is moving down to the ground. You're not bringing it with you. And then rest your forehead, keeping that long body. Let go in your face, in your jaw, in your throat. Press the left leg still. And then when you're more comfortable and established in the pose, remember it takes time to move into the pose. If you move too quickly, your body may want to contract the muscles to stop you overstretching. All right, and then lift your head, come up, extend both legs, bend the left one, see where it comes to, and then bring the foot up. Both sides might be a little bit different if one side's stiffer than the other, and it often is. I'm taking the right leg out to the side a little, placing the brick centrally. Okay, lift the arms, breathe in, pressing the right leg down, placing the hands, lifting up through the chest again, as if somebody would almost put their knee into my lower thoracic spine, through to my breastbone, and then take the hands more forwards and rest the head. Make sure you're even. The pubic bone is looking straight ahead. It's not moving to the left or the right. Can you become the posture? Can you take your whole being, mind and body into the experience and breath? And then to come out, raise the head, come back, stretch the legs forwards, So, Upavista Konasana. Take your legs wide. Move that chair out of the way a little. So when you take them apart, make sure they're even on either side. And if you are going to sit on a lift or a block or a blanket, it's quite useful to place it so the pointy bit you'd be sitting on, so that each leg easier said than done, each leg will come off the support evenly. Or the block, you've got the pointy edge of the block. So, placing your support or your chair in front of you, having the thighs looking straight up to the ceiling, the feet straight up, don't let them roll in or roll out. Taking the buttock flesh to either side, raising the arms, coming forwards. So as you come forwards, it's very tempting for the legs to want to roll in or roll out. Try to keep them evenly pressing down. Try and get that, with keeping the sacrum down, but taking the upper back in. And then you can rest your head. Remember to use the chair if you would need to round your back body to come here. So you can still use your hands to help you to reaffirm the weight of the buttocks and outer legs on the ground. Soften in the face, in the jaw. Breathe into the chest. And then to come out, raise the head, walk the hands back, bring the legs back. Now I'm very conscious of the passage of time, so we will use Setu Bandha now, as we've been coming forwards a lot, just to open the chest. I'm going to use a bolster, but you can use those blocks that I showed you in the beginning. You can have 4 blocks. Place like this for your lower back. Make sure it's just your lower back. So when you use the blocks and come down onto your shoulders here, you've not got the blocks under your ribs. You see some funny things in class and people seem very uncomfortable. So, and remember, 4 blocks is quite a lot. You may only want 3, or if your back is stiff, you may only want 2. Now, also, I'm going to suggest that you strap up your thighs, because thighs tend to want to roll out And in this posture, it's good to spread the lower back by keeping the thighs rolling in. So I'm going to put this mid-thigh and make it quite firm. So placing the support the right distance away from the wall is also a challenge. Come onto your shoulders first though before you raise the legs. I think I'm going to be lucky here. The feet are together, they're hip height. So if you're using the bricks, keep your legs the same height as the bricks. Tuck the shoulders under, have room to turn the arms out, take them a little way away from the chest. And here again, you have the support of the floor, the support of the wall, the support of the bolster. The chest is lifted for you here and opened. So you may like to close your eyes once you're comfortable. Don't be uncomfortable. Use less support under the back or raise your feet a little on the wall if there is discomfort. Feel that the thighs just roll in slightly towards each other and move down onto your support. And your pelvis moves towards the back pelvis, moves towards the feet. This helps to spread the lower back. Feel the opening in the abdomen also, and how the abdominal organs can have space here. And so they too can relax. Press the feet evenly into the wall. Shoulder blades tuck under and the spine lifts away from the floor. The upper chest moves towards your chin without becoming jammed in. Have space for your throat. Soften your face and let your whole body release now. Be aware of your breath, and here again you can experience that drawing in of the abdomen and opening of the chest if you just breathe in a little more deeply. And letting the chest slowly return and the abdomen soften as you breathe out a little longer. When you've taken a deeper breath in, you may like to just keep it in the chest for 1 or 2 seconds, just appreciating that sense of fullness. And when breathing out and really emptying the lungs, without forcing. You may like to hold the breath out 1 or 2 seconds, just experiencing that sense of emptiness in the body. Do all this, keeping the throat and face soft. Breathe normally between longer breaths if you need to. There should be no strain, no effort. Nothing to make the brain become alert. So just one more. Slower, longer inhalation and exhalation. Coming back to normal breathing, opening your eyes if they've been closed, bending your knees. Now I've got a wall here, or I would roll to my right side, but you can roll to come up and remove the belt, and we'll get ready for Shavasana. So you may like to use a bolster for under your knees, particularly if your back is a little tight. You may like to use a chair. You could put your calves on the chair when you relax. And also it's quite nice to spread the lower back. You may like something for your head, to support your head. You don't want your head to be moving back. You still want the forehead maybe a little higher than the nose. And you need to be warm, so do cover yourself. So turn the legs out. From bed, it's quite nice to push the heels away to extend the legs. Support the head and neck. Use your elbows to lift and tuck the shoulder blades under. You can also move the pelvis towards the feet. You can take your head to extend your neck and take the arms out. Glasses need to come off so that you can really relax the face. Equipment needs to be out of the way. Heels stretch away from the calves. Make sure you have enough support under your head. And then when you're comfortable, try to keep the body still through the whole asana. Remembering the points that we made at the beginning of the class. Letting go. Let the front thighs sink into the back thighs. Release the pelvis from the center out to each side. Release the arms, the upper arms. Release the back body to the ground, the neck, the head. But experience a lift and opening in the chest. That broadening of the facial muscles and skin. Keep the tongue centrally placed. Let the eyes recede into their sockets. Have the lips in a very slight smile. Be aware of your breath, smooth, soft inhalations, smooth, soft, completely natural exhalations. Becoming completely immersed in the posture, physically, organically, emotionally, opening the heart, mentally, emptying the mind, filling the body with prana, life force. Do stay. When you decide to return, do roll on your right side to come up, but don't let me disturb you. I'll just say thank you very much for practicing today. Namaste.